I get shit done, I have fun, it's my time and I'm the one. I'm breaking through.
Unlock your mind's potential with my guest, Marc. He's going to explain that to us. But before we jump into that, I want to thank you for being here. I'm your host, Coach Phil. This is the Business Renovator, and we're here to help people renovate their business, not physically with their walls and bricks and mortar, but with sales, marketing, and mental fitness. If you're watching us live for the first time, thank you for being here. And if you're watching us live because you've seen it before, welcome back. As always, we ask you to subscribe to our channels, particularly YouTube. Subscribe there and join our viewer community and subscribers community. If you have a question, comments, feedback, please send it our way. That's how our show gets better. What I'd like to do now is play a shameless plug of what I do. So here it is. It's about a minute. But at the end of it, there's a gift for you. Welcome back, and leave your credit card in your pocket. It actually is a complimentary 30-minute opportunity if you want to go that far. But if you just wanted to do the business growth score, go to my website, coachphil.ca, and on the top right-hand corner, as you're looking at your monitor, there's a button, Business Growth Score. Click on that, fill in the assessment. You may get a pat on the back as a result of doing it, saying, hey, I'm right on track. Things are going great. No help needed. Awesome. However, there's been some of our guests and viewers have actually found that there's room for improvement, and we've had a conversation. And again, it's complimentary. Just mention that you found us on the Business Renovator, and we'll have a 30-minute complimentary conversation, coaching conversation, and see if we can shed some light on some strategies, ideas, or brainstorm to sort out the area of improvement that you want to work on. Speaking of improvement, I have a wonderful guest who's going to share some light. Not everything, because we are not here all day or all week, but we're here for a few minutes to shed some light on ways to make your life a little bit better, a little easier is what I understand. So Marc, I forgot to ask you how to pronounce your name. So if I mess it up, I got the Marc part, but it's the Mathys. I may not said that right, but he's based in Montreal, is a seasoned I had this all figured out before. He's going to correct me. And Naturotherapist, dynamic TEDx speaker, and a dedicated educator, passionate about sharing knowledge. I have experienced his passion on several occasions in a couple of different places. His primary focus is on neuroscience and quantum physics. He developed the innovative Neuro Quantum Experience by Reset, which has been central to his work for the past 20 years. I'm going to bring him on now because then we can pick his brain and figure out how we can change and improve ourselves. Marc, welcome to the show, and thank you for taking time to share some knowledge with us this morning.
Well, thank you, Phil, for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. So let's have a conversation around what we do and how we do things a little bit different.
So how are things in Montreal? And where I live, that we had snow the other day already.
Well, we're getting a little colder, but today is really it's warmer. But I can see that the weather is changing. So my wife just put on her snow tires, so it's coming. It's coming.
We have to do that in our country. Yeah. So we met through networking. So the power of networking is powerful. If it wasn't for networking and technology, might not have ever met you. Yeah. Not that I know a lot about you. That's kind of why we're on the show. But I did learn a lot or a little in the times we got connected in Frank's groups. I'm going to ask you if you have a WIFL. It's actually WIFLs. What that stands for? Something you're proud of that you'd like to share with the world. So it's a win, essentially. Do you have a WIFLs?
I have a lot of WIFLs. Is that, when people come to see us in our platform that we do on Reset It, and when they finish and they have this aha moment of what their lives now are going to be, where they were stuck in a place where really it doesn't belong to them, and they get this light bulb effect on saying, hey, wow, this is amazing, and I can do this in my work, I can do this all over. And one of the things that really struck me is that I'm working with veterans, and when they go through the process of doing what we teach, and the results of what's happening after that, they don't get triggered and don't get into, and it's just a beautiful sense that they can make a choice doing the things on their own. And this is what we teach them, is to do this on their own. So it's just a beautiful, every time that it just blows my mind that's how simple and easy they learn it and they can adapt it to their lives. So that's the WIFL for me today.
So when you say veterans, these are people that came out of serving or maybe still serving, and they're dealing with things like PTSD?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Because a lot of them are left by themselves, and they're struggling to deal with what they need to deal with. And our program fits right into what they're going through and how they can reset what doesn't belong to them in that training, and in what they received and how they're living their lives. So it's really blows my mind every time that I talk to my guys, and how they're living their lives completely different than what they used to be living.
I would imagine first responders would fit within that category as well, right?
Oh, definitely, because they see a lot. They see a lot of stuff that's going on, and when that information that comes in, well, then we have a reaction to that information, and that's the information that's controlling us. And that for first responders, definitely would help going through our program.
And when my show is called The Business Renovator, and it's targeted at working with specifically business owners, leaders, entrepreneurs, those kind of things. I don't get into the areas that you do with veterinarians, veterans, pardon me, unless they become an entrepreneur. And one of the things that I think is common with what they face, although I think PTSD at the entrepreneurial level is probably not as impactful as a traumatic of experience. However, the perception of it, I think, in the eyes of an entrepreneur is exactly the same. Makes sense?
Makes a lot of sense, because what happens with a lot of entrepreneurs is that they're bringing their baggage from what they've learned and how they've learned it through what I call the programming and their conditionings and beliefs. So when they're doing their jobs, Phil, that 95% of businesses close because of those three factors: their programming, their conditionings, and beliefs. It's not about the money that it's not about the finances, it's not about anything else, but what happens in between the 2 years, really, and how that affects their business. And when people are in there, let's say there's a group of employees and the entrepreneurs, and all of them are bringing their own baggage into the companies. And we're dealing more with the baggage and doing the job, really.
Yeah. Did you say between their ears? That's what I poked.
That's it.
Right.
Right.
I was at an event with Brian Tracy a bunch of years ago, and he was on the stage, and he was saying that similar sort of things in the context of what we're talking about. It says it's really the 6 to 8 inches in between your ears where it stops you from being truly successful, right?
Yeah. And the thing, Phil, is that what they receive from their past, their programs, their conditionings and beliefs, has nothing to do with them. They received it from other people around them. So they're dealing with stuff that has nothing to do with them as a human being. I'll give you an example, is that let's say that your entrepreneur or my business people go through the program and they're stuck on making money. But if you find out when they go through the program and they realize that the money issues were coming from their grandfather, father, or their family, and that's what happens, is that it's continuous programs and conditionings from other people, and then we bring this into our companies. as an entrepreneur, and we have difficulty of making money because of the programs and conditioning.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've been in the coaching space for a long time, and the business coaching specifically, focusing on that for about 17 years. And I'm also a coach mentor for other coaches. And one of the things that gets in their way is there's this thing called selling. And as soon as they automatically, it's almost like not almost like, we are programmed to think that selling is something awful. And really where it comes from, but I don't know whether it's Latin or Greek, but it comes from being a servant. And when we show up and serve, but what I've experienced is people have a difficulty going from that mindset. Not all, but I would, if you follow the 80-20 rule, I would guess 80% of entrepreneurs are, I don't like selling. I don't like, and I've been in rooms with acupuncturists, medical people, and they have great gifts to bring to the market. But when they come to talk about, I don't like selling. And when I stop and ask questions to find out what they do, why they're passionate about it, you can bring it out. And when I demonstrate to them that selling is just nothing more than having a conversation, seeking to understand. So I'm simplifying it. They still have what you're talking about. They have this historic data that came from somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, when you hear about salespeople, what do you go to when you remember that sales? The insurance guys are pushing stuff on you, or they manipulate you to control you, try to sell something down your throat with with a way of selling, really going aggressively. Well, that's what we have in our minds based on the information that we receive from our past, that sales are not good. The car salesman is trying to trick you to buy their car. Well, these are the programs and conditionings around it. So when you come through our program and we reset that program, it's not about selling anymore. It's about being who you are in the moment that you are in. And at the end of the day, Phil, they don't care about what your products are or whatever. They want to buy you.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing, is that when they see you, that's where they're coming in. That's where how we sell. And I'll give you my example, is that when people do not ask us what we do in networking or wherever I am in my team, if they don't ask us what we do, we don't tell them. As simple as that. Once they ask the question, well, now they're ready to understand. They're present in understanding it. We're not pushing our products. We're receiving what we need to receive instead of selling it.
Yeah, I love that approach. I also teach and coach people how to sell professionally. And it's like what you're talking about. I'm the same way. I've been at a couple of events, and people get in. They're so passionate, and they think that they need to tell you everything. And it's a bit of nervous energy, plus their passion. And this last one was a couple of days. Oh, it's on Monday, just Monday evening. And I met somebody there, and I asked them who they are, how, that get the conversation started. I regretted it because it went on forever, ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Never once did this particular person ask me anything about me.
Okay, so what they were doing, sorry, Phil, is that what they were doing is that in that quantum energy field, what were you receiving from that? Pardon me?
What was I receiving?
Yeah, what were you receiving from what they were telling you?
They were either nervous and or passionate about what they were doing, and they didn't know when to be quiet and see if it was anything I was truly interested in.
So what they were telling you is that, please do not buy from me.
Well, that's I was looking for ways to end and get away.
Yeah, well, exactly. So first of all, would you buy that from that person? Probably not.
Probably not.
Would you refer that person to another client of yours? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
So what they're telling you is saying from their programs and conditioning, they're telling you, please don't buy from me.
Right.
And I see this all over the place when people try to sell me something. Is that all there is? Even on LinkedIn, even on anything, they're sending information. They don't know me, but they're trying to sell me something. Yeah. I want to know the person that is behind what they're doing. That I will buy.
I have a card. I don't need to. I don't need to. I can read the card. I can tell you what's on the card without even. Oh, I guess I could be cheating because I could be looking at the monitor. But it says no one cares about you until they know how much you care about them. I'll get that closer so people can see it.
Yeah.
So it's true, right?
Right. People will always buy people. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes, and I see this with my group because we have 11 members on my team all over the world, and they come, we all get together, and there are some events that we do, there's other people there, and we can see the difference between our team that is living in this state of presence, meaning the absence of our programming, and they're light up like a Christmas tree, versus that when people are not lit up, all they're saying is, please don't buy from me.
Yeah. Here's a crazy thought. Well, it's not that crazy.
I love crazy thought.
How did you get started into this?
How did I get started? Well, it was 20 years ago. I had a health problem with, I had sleep apnea. I had severe sleep apnea. So I stopped breathing 54 times out of the hour. So
Wow.
I wasn't sleeping at all. I was always in that fight or flight mode. And when my doctors gave me a machine it's called a CPAP, which regulates my air intake for when I sleep, I slept 8 hours for the first time in my life. And when I woke up that morning, I had this energy inside of me that I never felt before because I never slept before. And when I was shaving in the morning, I did not recognize the guy in front of me. It's like somebody took my brain, took it out, washed it off, and put it back in. I was a completely different person. So what that morning, I said, there's got to be something. I want to know, why is this happening to me? And that morning I said, well, let me take a look at the brain. What happened to me? So it came out of my trying to find out what happened to me. Then when I started doing my research on the mechanics behind the brain, it came into a place where the neuroscience came in, where I learned that what happened in my brain, that it shifted a neural pathway into somewhere else. So my original pathway was reset it. It's still there. I still get what I've been going through, but it doesn't affect me anymore. So that's where I've learned about the neuroscience field. And then that brought me in the quantum energy field. So what I realized is that whatever I was thinking, my 50 to 60,000 thoughts I have per day, that I was telling myself that I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I don't have the relationship that I want. All these things were gone. So from what was happening is that I was spreading that energy out to other people, and that's what I was receiving from other people. And that has changed completely, because now I'm in a different pathway, which I'm not affected by all my old programs and conditioning anymore. I'm just making the choice based on me in this moment, and everything that I put into that space becomes my reality. So I started teaching this here in Montreal. I had my office here in Montreal, which I do a lot with as a natural therapist. So I do a lot of health stuff as well. And the people in Montreal were starting talking about my service, and I was getting noticed. And I got a call in one day, and the TED Talk people said, hey, Marc, we're hearing about what you're doing. It's different what we've ever seen before, and we would like you to have on stage. And that's where I did my TED Talk in 2016 on how we can change our lives in a fraction of a second.
You did that in French, right?
Yes, I did it in French, and then on my website, I got it done in English as well now. So.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Guess I didn't look fur enough, right?
It's right down after.
That's cool. How long did it take you to prepare for the TED Talk? This is an aside. I'm just being nosy now.
Well, the TED Talk, it's really the organization around TED is when you're in that system, they teach you how to do this. Okay. So I had maybe 2 or 3 sessions with them and how to present and on stage and everything else. And it was really neat to do. I love the experience. I would love to do it again. With the experience that I have now, I would love to do it again.
Yeah. That's interesting. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. That was a little bit of a sidebar. I just being nosy. So if going back to the 6 to 8 inches between our ears challenge for most of us as entrepreneurs. I mean, some people do it just out of brute force and they get stuff done. From a quantum physics point of view, I've found this dude, Dr. Price Pritchett. No, it's Price Pritchett. And he's written a book called U Squared or U2. And the first story in there is the one that I remember. And a lot of people say that you just have to go and work hard, go hard, do hard. And that's not the way, is it? Because the example that he has in the book is about the fly trying to escape your house. And it's on the window pane, bashing up against it. And it's a tiny little thing. And doing hard, it can work, but it's not really effective. Think of that fly trying to break through your biggest window. It doesn't have the body mass to make a dent in there. It usually dies of exhaustion, or we eradicate it somehow. So why did I bring that up? Well, I thought maybe because of the quantum physics side of it. Maybe there's something in there that you could share with our audience that would help them understand what I just said in plainer English.
So what's happening in the quantum energy field is that when you, especially when the program that is, you have to work hard. So we are programmed and conditioned that we have to work hard to get somewhere, which in some cases it works. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it works when you work hard. But for a lot of people, working hard is based on information that has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the programs and conditions that you receive. So the quantum energy field is based on your thought process of working hard. So you're putting that thought process of working hard, and you got to work hard, but you're missing the boat because you're not present in the actions you're doing with it. You're working hard based on information that has nothing to do. So in the quantum energy field, this is what you're sending out to. And when you're working hard, in what I think is that when you're working hard, you're working out of the mind, which has nothing to do with you, your training. You're working hard to do it. So you're sending out in the quantum energy field, please don't buy from me. When it's different, when you're in that state of presence, what I mean by state of presence is the absence of our programs and conditioning. So we're free of that stuff. So that working hard is not there anymore. We're using that same quantum energy field based on our choices of what we want to do. It's not about working hard anymore. It's about putting in a different place where you are you first and making choices of what type of business you want to have. And once you make your choices based on you, not anybody else but you, and how you want to put it out there, this is what you're going to receive, because now the quantum energy is working for you instead of against you.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, but yeah, but, and then you can fill in the blank that follows. Yeah, but I'm too old. Yeah, but I don't speak French. Yeah, but I'm in the wrong part of the world. Yeah, but I don't have enough training.
Or the economy's bad, or this or that. These are all the buts that, based on information, which really has nothing to do with us. See, if you're doing what you need to do in the moment you need to do it, people are going to resonate with it.
So what would you say to somebody who says, yeah, but the habits I have are mine because I'm controlled, managed, manipulate, whatever the word is. I'm not sure the best word. My habits keep me, like if I had to learn how to drive every day or how to shower, those habits keep me stuck where I am, Mark.
Yes, it keeps you stuck where you are. But I like the example of what you said. My habit to drive your car. Well, that's not in reality. It's not a habit. It's a learned process of what you're doing, but it's based on the information you receive. So if you're driving in such a way that follows the rules and everything else on the road, then you're driving. It's an automatic response to it. But let's say you learned how to drive, but it's not really the right way to drive. So that habit will continue going in, and that becomes your reality. So the same thing with all our habits that we have, it's on autopilot. We're doing things on autopilot, but we're not living that moment. So the driving part is that when you're in the state of presence, you make the choice to go into your car and be present in driving. So you're seeing things, you're being part of your environment. Where if you go into your car and that habit is there, you remember, did you ever follow that when you going somewhere, but you didn't realize how you got there, but you're driving, it's like an automatic, and I'm already there, but you didn't see anything. This is automatic. But if you're living the moment, then you're seeing everything and being part of it. You didn't hit that boy or girl, or you didn't scrap your car. But these are the habits that we get into, and the mind shuts it off because the mind's not working anymore. So we just go into habit mode, and then we do things on habit instead of doing what we need to do.
So in a private message email, I think it was, I asked you about your process. I just spoke American process because we're Canadian. And how would you say with the French?
Process.
Process. There you go. So we've hit everything. So now I've distracted myself from what I was going to ask you. Oh yes, in the email, or no, it was a LinkedIn messaging, went back and forth, and I'm going to say I studied. Not that I'm certified in these modalities, but there's things like the Sedona method, EFT, the tapping, which Gary Craig introduced to the world, and other people call it something else, but it was basically the same sort of thing. And there was one other, be set free. Those are all kind of different modalities. And I asked you, is it the same as those things, those practices? And you came back, no, it's different. Can you help our audience in case they've been introduced to those things? Because those things sometimes take longer than I haven't experienced what you teach. I believe what you say, but I haven't actually experienced it. So maybe help the audience understand what makes your process, reset it, different.
Well, the process, like you were saying, Phil, all these processes that you're just talking about, they all work. It takes time. It takes the time that they need to work in. But with our program, based on my research on neuroscience and quantum physics, I found a way that we can do it in 2 sessions long, 2 90-minute sessions, that we teach you how to do it. It's not me. I'm not a coach. I'm not a therapist. What we do is teach you the method so that you and only you can do this on your own. So when you reset the what doesn't belong to you, you're free now. You're free in that state, and you can make choices based on you, not based on anything else. So comparing it from what everybody else is doing, we can't compare what we do versus anything else. We've got something completely different. It doesn't take long. It's easy. It's affordable because we don't charge an arm and leg for it, because we want to reach out to a lot of people, because a lot of people need our service. It's easy to learn. It's 2 sessions long, and it's not going to cost you an arm and leg to go through it.
So it seems like it's just another option. I just take that back. As soon as you say just, I'm undermining it. So it seems like it's another option for people to consider. You're making it easy to access. It is really affordable, and you're supporting the other ones. You're just another option. I guess one way to look at it be, if we use the golf analogy, you have a putter driver and other clubs. So it's just it's an option for people to consider if they want to make changes happen easier in their life. Have I wrapped it up kind of right?
Right. The option is that you tried everything under the moon.
Yeah.
You tried everything, all these modalities, which some work, some doesn't. And I'm not here to get into that. Is that when people come to see me and see our team, they've tried a lot of things in their lives, trying to fix themselves. So what we go into is that you cannot fix things that do not belong to you to fix. You can reset those issues that you went through, yes, but you can't fix it. I can't fix it. Nobody can fix it, except when you reset what doesn't belong to you, well, then you're free to do whatever you need to do. So it's not it's you're learning something. It's something that's, I had a conversation yesterday, is that our program is something that you've always done. There's nothing new in my program. There is nothing new in my program. It's that you haven't learned it. You've been programmed and conditioned in a certain way. See, when you were 3 or 4 years old, you were in the state of presence, meaning the absence of the programs and conditioning. So you were always in that state. So what we're doing is teaching you to go back into that space. Very simple, in simple ways to learn it, so that you realize, hey, this is what I've been doing, and this is what I feel. It's putting the power back into the person that are coming through our program. So it's something that's really, you have 50, 60 trillion cells in your body.
Yeah.
And these cells are all mirrored through what your programs and conditioning are all about. So when your cells realize that you're able to go back into that state of presence of who you are in this moment, your body loves it. Your body is asking for it. So you're not returning into your programs and conditioning. And this is what we teach you, is to teach you the way that you can do this on your own, that you do not need us anymore. And that's a whole new way of looking at it.
Yeah. So you're helping them be accountable and responsible for themselves. And when I say response, I need to spell it. It's response-able. So we respond with ability. So you're giving them an option to have the capability and the ability to respond to what's going on in their life.
Exactly.
I want to share a little bit, just because we're running out of time. This is fascinating. I could talk with you quite a bit longer, but I'm not.
So that means we have to do another one together, Phil.
I think maybe the after, because I'm going to step up and experience it in the not too distant future. So let me just share what we were.
That would be interesting. Once you go through our 2 sessions and we come back and talk about it, that would be neat. That would be really nice to do.
So if I've done this right, there we go. So this is your LinkedIn page. Hang on, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I have an easier to find him right there. Because if you were trying to see this little area where I'm scribbling, it's up there, but I can't see it, and I got glasses on. So to make it easy, on LinkedIn, Marc, say your name so I get it right. I should have asked first.
It's Marc Mathys.
Oh, I could have said that, Mathys. It's not as tough as I was making it out to be. Anyway, this is where if you want to go find out a bit more and get connected with him, you can connect and message him, book an appointment, do all sorts of kind of things on LinkedIn. But wait, there's more. That's like that crazy ShamWow commercial. Wait, there's more. So the more is here. And again, to make that easy, it's reset-it.ca. And on here, you can find out even more information. You want to give yourself a plug while I navigate through this?
And what's really neat about what we do on our website, it's very clean. We have 3 basic things on reset, reown, and restart. We have the other stuff that we're going through. And if you go up a little bit, meet our specialists. These are all the people that are on board with us. And with our specialists is that they all went through a certification program with me. So they're all certified. So what they're doing is not bringing their programs and conditioning and dumping things on top of you. They are in the state of presence, doing the work that they need to do. And the beautiful part of our program is that on our Learn More page is all my research on neuroscience, quantum physics. You've got a lot of articles. You can go down deep into what we're all about and how we do things a little bit differently. And what we're doing now is taking these articles and we're building it and putting that on video for our YouTube channel. So we're spreading this all over, and we've got other audio, like our session that we did today, Phil, is going to be on my website. So I'm going to download that into my website, so you'll see what we've talked about today and other things that we do all over the world.
So because I didn't know where to look for the TEDx talk, and I didn't go there because I heard you said it was in French, and my French is very minuscule.
And Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's la petite, right? It's not very much, but I do speak a few. I couldn't have a conversation.
So
So where would I go?
if you scroll down, Phil, you've got the where there's the search page. Just to go up a little bit more. The up underneath my face, you got the search.
Oh, right
You
here.
just go in top TED Talk, TEDx, and it should come up. We're putting things into. There we go.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, in Laval.
Yeah.
That's a university, isn't it?
Well, there's a university, but there's a town here near Montreal that they did the.
Oh,
I was one of the first TEDx in Quebec to do this.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you got the TEDx, and you got it in French and English there too.
Excellent. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I've got here on this platform for you. So let me remove that and get us bigger.
Yeah, and go in and have that look at the articles, read about it, and never take. And I get this a lot. I say this a lot. Never take things on face value.
Right.
Do your research. Go in, have conversations with our team. If you want to have a conversation with me, we have 11 people around the world that you can have conversations. Doesn't cost you a cent. Have a conversation with them and talk to them about what you're going through and how we can teach you how to reset that thing that doesn't belong to you.
Cool. Well, my show is about sales, marketing, and mental fitness. So this hits the nail on mental fitness. And in my opinion, it would assist my audience and my clients, my friends and family that are in business with their sales and their marketing too, because they would change their mental fitness, the way they think about things. So if you change the things we think about, what we think about changes too.
Exactly.
One last nugget that you would like to share with our audience?
Well, the nugget that I would like to share is that whatever you're going through, in this life right now, is probably based on a programming conditioning that doesn't belong to you. So when you're going through things, what I suggest to do is that first thing is that we teach is to breathe in, breathe out, get you in a space where you are. And if it's too much for you, reach out to us or anybody else. Reach out, have that conversation with other people so that you're not stuck in a place that doesn't belong to you. So if you're going through some stuff, whatever that is, it's on business side, personal side, there is a possibility to reset what doesn't belong to you in that situation.
Cool. I like that. So yeah, don't wallow in despair. Reach out and find someone who cares.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'm seeing a lot of people that get involved into things that don't belong to them. And, some people will end their lives. Some people will do things to themselves, but they're doing it based on information that has nothing to do with them as a human being. And especially with our business people, is that there's no, when you're struggling and going through some stuff, reach out to us or anybody else, and you'll see that that you can reset whatever you're going through. You can reset.
Right.
And I'll give you this offer as well, is that if there's something that right now you can't afford to go through our program, reach out to us, have a conversation. We'll do it. What we're looking for is to get people to go through our program, and we have monthly payments. We can arrange a lot of different things for you. And for our price, you can take a look at our website. It's really affordable. So reach out to us or reach out to other people around. What they need to do is that there's no place in this world that you are stuck. And there's always options to get out of it.
They just feel stuck. Well, that's great. Yeah. Don't you leave. I'm going to wrap up the show. One of the parts I hate about the show is it ends. However, you hang out there for a bit. I'll be right back with you. And I want to thank you for being here, my friend.
Well, thank you, Phil, for the opportunity to talk a little bit about what we do and a little bit of what we can put out there. And I'm eager to do the 2 sessions with you.
Cool.
Cool, man.
See you. Well, if you didn't learn anything, I don't think you were listening. So go back and listen again. It's actually already replayable, I believe, on the Business Renovator channel on YouTube. That's my channel for anything that's relevant to the Business Renovator. It's right there. And one of my mentors and associates in business says that what we do as business coaches, which is what my role is that we help save lives and marriages. And I was just talking to another associate of mine who learned that somebody that they cared about attempted to take their life. The good news is they were stopped from doing it, and they were revived, and they're getting the care and treatment that they require. So if you know somebody who is suffering in silence, don't let them do that. Reach out and help them. And maybe what we talked about today might be the thing that need to do. I don't know, but something. Don't let people suffer in silence. I think mental health was this month. It is this month. So if you can help people, this might be a way to help them. I want to just end the show like I typically do. And I want to add this to my screen here. Just hang on. Write this here. The you in wonderful represents you. You're unique as I am, and you're wonderful. So continue being your wonderful self. Until next time, I'm Coach Phil, your host and facilitator and business coach. Thanks for being here. Share this out. If you've got feedback or comments for us, please let us know. Until next time, be wonderful, right?
I get shit done, I have fun. It's my time and I'm the one. I'm breaking through.